There are no words, only tears and sadness for the tragedy that occurred in Surfside, Florida. There are still over 100 people trapped in the rubble as first responders search 24/7, looking to rescue as many people to be taken out alive. So many families are grieving, waiting to know what will happen with their loved ones. What can we do? In this week's Torah portion, we find Bilam attempting to curse the Jewish people. And one of the most beautiful blessings that God puts in his mouth is, Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, how goodly are your tents, O Jacob, Mishkanotecha, your dwelling houses, Israel. And our rabbis incorporated these words into our daily prayers. Why was it placed into the prayers? And so our rabbis explain that from the words that Bilam used to curse the Jews, and ultimately was transformed into blessings, you could learn what was in his heart. He blesses the Jewish people by saying, how goodly are your dwelling places, your houses, O Israel. He was referring to the synagogues and the study halls of the Jewish people. And therefore you could see that what he wanted to do was curse the Jewish people by trying to curse their synagogues and their study halls. And the question is, why did Bilam attempt to weaken the Jewish people by cursing their dwelling places, meaning their synagogues and study halls? And the rabbis explain, because Bilam understood that the strength of the Jewish people, the resilience, the fortitude, comes from their synagogues and from their study halls. It is through their prayers and through their study of Torah that they have remained an eternal nation despite everything that they have gone through. And therefore, by trying to curse the synagogues and the study halls, he attempted to weaken the Jewish people, because Bilam understood, as our enemies understand, that our true strength is our spiritual strength. 7 blocks away from this building that collapsed in Surfside, there's the Shul of Bal Harbor under the leadership of Rabbi Lipsker, and immediately became transformed into a central command center and a hub to receive families, victims, survivors, and to support them with every one of their needs being met: blankets, pillows, water, food, shelter, anything they could possibly need. Countless people opened their homes to take in families of the buildings, and immediately a chesed fund has been opened up where over $500,000 has been raised in 24 hours. Everyone is doing everything they can. And of course, the synagogue, the local synagogue, became the center of support and help for all those in need. It is always the synagogue that we turn to. And so this Shabbat, as we sit here and say, what can we do to help our brothers and sisters? What we could do is come together in the synagogue tomorrow, pray together, study Torah together, because that has always been our greatest strength and resilience, and that will be our resilience. There's no understanding the ways of God. Nobody can comprehend what is happening. All we can do is be strong and turn to each other, turn to Hashem, and turn to the Torah for strength. There's a rabbi in Israel, his name is Rabbi Weiss, and he tells the story that his father was taken to Auschwitz as an 18-year-old boy, and he arrived on the first day of Shavuos. One day later, his Rebbe, the Klosenberger Rebbe, arrived in Auschwitz, and he was put into his barrack. And Rabbi Weiss said his father went over to the Rebbe and said, Rebbe, I'm so glad that you're in the same barrack with me. I'll be able to get close to the Rebbe. And the Rebbe said to him, do you think it's going to help you? It's not going to save you that I'm with you. It won't help. And he said to his Rebbe, of course it will help, because we will study Torah together. And indeed, for the next 13 months, they studied Torah together in Auschwitz. Jews have always turned to Hashem, to the Torah, to the prayer book for strength and for solace. Once again, we will do that now. So turn to one another. Let us send whatever aid we can send. Make a donation on the Chesed Fund. But together, come together as a Jewish people to pray and to support each other and to strengthen each other during these very painful and difficult days. Shabbat Shalom.